Now, whenever you're given one of these problems like this, what's the difference in this problem and the problems we've been doing? Well, there's some problems that we did before with no logs. They were called exponents. And we changed them into logarithms. What does this one have in it that the other ones that we did last class didn't? Equals. This is an equation. All right. Now, the first thing you'll say is, when I say that these have an equal sign, the equation is, well, we did 2 to the third power is equal to 8, and we did that. That's an equation. Yes, it is. We use the definition of a logarithm. But here we cannot use the definition of a logarithm because it says a to the y is equal to b to the w. In other words, the bases are different, and where the definition of a logarithm, a to the y is equal to x, this says a to the y is equal to x to the w. In other words, both of them are raised to a power. And what's significant about the power in both the terms? Y'all said it a while ago. They both have what in them? They both have x in them. So we got a double whammy here. We got something that doesn't equal the definition of a logarithm, and then we have 2 exponential variables. So we should just what? Quit. Pretty much. No, when you see this and you cannot use the definition of a logarithm, has anybody got a suggestion? Good try, but no, you're wrong. You should quit. Take the log of both sides. Now, write that out to the side. Take the log of both sides. Because, do you remember when you learned how to do fractions, I told you to clear the fraction, clear the fraction, clear the fraction? All right, well, this is another thing that you need to put in the back of your mind whenever you get stuck on a logarithm or an exponential like this. Use it as a last resort. Take the log of both sides, or natural log. I want to use log. So do that. Log base 10, 4, x to the 1, x minus 1, equals log base 10, 3. You don't have to put the base 10. Of 2x. And see what your properties tell you. Now you're going to have to use your properties. Like maybe your power rule of logarithms. Yeah, just call on in whenever. That's fine. Hope you had a good lunch or a good breakfast. Extra sleep. Good. Got to have that beauty rest. So log log 4 x to the minus 1 equals log 3 to the 2x. And of course that pen didn't write very well, so I'm going to rewrite it. Okay? Now use your properties, use your power rule. Now, I may not have talked to y'all about this, but I may have. I don't know, because I talked to y'all and I talked to the calculus class. Because basically this is the part of calculus or part of algebra that I have to tell you this, nobody's ever going to walk up to you and ask you to solve this equation. Then why do you have to learn it? Because you're trying to learn how to solve problems. You're trying to learn how to break up something. You're trying to learn how to manipulate something. Okay? It's the best way for the problem-solving process of your brain to develop. You can't do that with English. You can't do it with history. You can't do it with underwater firefighting class. All right? You have to use math and science to work the manipulation, the critical thinking, the problem-solving process of the brain. And that's the only way to do it. This part is manipulation. You're taking a problem, you're changing it, you're reworking it to where you can get X as the answer. If you were a financial consultant, if you're a mechanical engineer, if you're working in retail, you know, you have problems that come up, whether it's financial, whether it's economic, whether it's human resources, whether it's customer service, whatever the case may be. The first thing you do is you take a look at the problem and you break it up. You manipulate it. You change it to see if you can figure out how to solve it. That's why we do some of these problems. So if you're still on the redneck train, then just drop, because you don't need to be in the science field. Okay? Now, take the log of both sides. What are we going to do with that x minus 1 and 2x? Using what rule? The power rule. Thank you. So that's going to be x minus 1 times log 4 equals 2x times log of 3. Now, what's your objective? What's your objective of algebra? To get the variable what? By itself. Well, first of all, you got to get them on both sides. So get them on both sides. Take a couple of 3 steps, get them on both sides. Now, the first thing y'all going to do is probably stare at it for 15 seconds. Right? Before you can, if you work with concrete and you want to form up a cement block to put something in, I don't care, it might be a stepping stone. You ever make stepping stones with pizza boxes? You ever done that before? Okay, it's your parents' fault. Take the pizza box, take the lid off of it, pour it with concrete, and put all Quickcrete or whatever. I mean, you got to mix it with water first, okay? You pour it in a box, you put all your little jewels and stuff in it, your little rocks and stuff, and then you make stepping stones. You ain't never done that before? Okay, it's your parents' fault. Okay, the whole point is, let's say that you're making stepping stones. And while you're making stepping stones with pizza boxes, your ring falls in the stepping stone. You don't realize it because you're working with the concrete. You don't realize it until about 6 to 8 hours later, or 2 or 3 hours later, you know your ring's gone. What happens to concrete? It cures, right? When it cures, you can't just reach in there and get it. You have to what? You have to break it up. Well, that, see the parentheses? That's a block of concrete. Your ring is the X. What do you got to do? You got to bust it up. What's the only thing left to bust it up with? The log of 4, Hubert. That's right, class. It's the only thing on that whole side. That's all right. Don't say anything. So what are you going to do? If that was a 2, what would you do? If you took the log of 4, take that out mentally, and just put a 2 right there, what would you do? I'm sorry, what? All I heard was, multiply. Thank you for enunciating. Thank you. How do you multiply? What's that called? It's called 2 words. Starts with a D. Distributive law. Distributive law is busting up the block. Okay? So, we got to take that log of 4, and we got to what? Distribute it. Y'all ever watch Charlie Brown? Y'all are the teacher. Distribute that log right there with the 2x. And you get x log of 4 minus 1 log of 4 equals 2x log of 3. Okay, now we've just done the new stuff. Now you can finish it with algebra. And if you can't finish it with algebra, just consider yourself a what? A failure. Because you are in college algebra, so if you can't do that, then, you know, drop slip. What are you going to do? You got to get all your x's on what? One side. So you got to get rid of adding 2x log of 3. How do you get rid of adding 2x log of 3? Divide. Or subtract. Sorry. What am I going to do with this minus 1 log of 4? Take it across the river. Bring this across the river. So what am I going to get on the left side? X log of 4. Minus 2x log of 3 is equal to log of 4. all algebra. What do you do? Factor out common what? Term. What's in common? X. Y'all are so smart. Pay attention. Very interactive. Now, how do you get rid of multiplying by a bunch of junk? Divide by a bunch of junk. You don't want to divide by what you're trying to isolate. Oh, such a disappointment. That squiggle line represents all of this. So what happens to the bunch of junk on the left side? And what does that leave? Now, calculator drill team, get out your calculators. And take the log of 4 and divide it by the log of 4 minus 2 log of 3. And that's your answer. And this is a test question. You'll have about 5,000 of these on the test. Chapter section 5.5, 80% of your test is going to come from 5.5. Okay? Yes, come on in. Have a good morning so far. All right. Somebody tell me what the answer is. Huh? Nobody on the calculator drill team? You probably did. Just check it one more time. I mean, I don't really care. Whatever y'all get. I mean, the answer is log of 4 over the log of 4 minus 2 log of 3. That's the answer. But I want you to calculate it just so in case the homework or the test asks you to find the exact answer or the approximate. I'm sorry, approximate. What? I'll do it over here. Did you get it? What did you get?
I got it.
Okay, then you probably did it right. We'll check and see. Let's pull up our handy dandy virtual calculator. And that's going to give us parentheses, log, I don't forget what it is, but y'all tell me, log of what? 4. Log of 4, close parentheses, divided by parentheses, log of what? 4. Log of 4 minus 2 log of 3. Yeah. And that should be it. 1.25. You got it. I have to have a second because sometimes students lead me astray. So 1.25. That is the approximate answer. Take your red marker and put you a little dot right here. It's not big enough. An equal sign usually is squiggly. With a dot on it means approximate. I didn't make that up. It's usually a squiggly line like this. That's approximate. If you get log of 4, if it says give an approximate answer, that means put it in the calculator. If it tells you to expand the equation or expand this equation, then they want the log of 4 over all that cluster. Okay? And like I said, you'll see about 5,000 of these on the test, which means that your test will be covered in these problems. Capiche? All right, let's do a nerd. That one don't discourage you. I'm going to keep on trying. Because my job is to make sure that you what? Fail, quit, same thing. There we go. Oh, wait a minute, Hubert. That one's already got a log. We can't take the log of a log. No, you can't. So you got to figure out what to do. Have you seen how to do this one? Yes, you have. So there's nothing new. Hopefully you'll put 1 and 1 together and get 5. Walter, look at your text. Look at your text. He's a failure. He's used to it. No, in his case, it's not the parents' fault, because the parents are perfect.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I'm sorry. Did y'all hear anything? I didn't hear anything. Good for your parents. Your parents taught you that. Good for them. Somebody's going, what does that mean? Acorn, tree. What does that mean? No, I'm just saying these are the questions that's going to make up the test whenever I do it. Whenever I do put it up. Did you get your text? Yes. Do you want to go to the Huh? What? So what are you going to use? You can't take the log of both sides, so throw that out. Derivative.
Distributive log.
No, can't do that either.
You can't do 3x log 5 minus 7.
No, you can't just distribute a log. You have to have a log of a number. Good try though. I said good try. Definition of a logarithm. What do we have? We have log, they say, of x is equal to what? Y. So change it into a to the y is equal to x. Aren't you glad I taught you the definition of a logarithm? But I thought we were just supposed to memorize it. I didn't know we were supposed to use it later. Just quit. So what do we got? 5 is equal to 3x minus what? 7. And solve it. Now, if you can't solve this one, we're not going to talk about it. 7 plus 5 is what? I'll do this one for you because y'all might need the help.
What about the one?
You tell me. Don't be like my neighbor. Had a neighbor call me up. She said, I need you to come up here and tell me about this dang computer calculator. I've spent $130, $150 on this calculator and it's broken. I said, okay. Went up to the house, looked at it as a TI-83, and she said, look, it keeps, I raised 1 to the 29th power. It keeps giving me 1. How do you tell somebody that calculator's right and you are wrong, especially a woman that's irritated? You have to be very careful. 1 to the 29th power is 1. Anyway, just be careful. Now watch them exponents, because those exponents will get you. 4 is equal to x, and that's your answer. So don't you feel motivated now and encouraged? Good. Because now we're fixing to do one that's more challenging. That one was actually an easy one. That's my whole purpose. Give you an easy one, get your confidence up. And then what? Kick you while you're down. Try that one. Properties. And then take the log of both sides, or definition of a logarithm. You have to solve the equation. What do you notice first about this problem? Same what? Same bases. Same bases. That means we've got to use a property. Yep, that's right, class. Got to use a property. And that plus means what? Product rule, Hubert. That's right, class. Oh, such a disappointment. So what we got? Log base 6 of x times what? X minus 5 is equal to 2. Well, you can't take the log of both sides, so that leaves what? Definition of a logarithm, Hubert. That's right, class. So that'll be what? 6 to the second power is equal to blah, blah, blah. Now y'all should be able to finish it because you got to bust up another block with concrete, but I think y'all can do it. You might have to use a couple of your tools, algebra tools. So, what do? X squared minus 5x is equal to what? And you just sit there and stare at it for a while. Or you could move 36 over. You ever see one of these people that can take a... I'm going to switch gears for you a minute. No, I'm going to switch cars. No, I'm going to switch vehicles. We're going from a motorcycle to a SUV, all right? We're switching. You ever seen a person that could... I can't, but take a line and, I don't know, any kind of line, and they can draw a picture out of that one line. What's it called? You know what it's called? But anyway, they can take any squiggle line. I mean, anything. They can take and do that. Or they can take a forward. And they can make a picture out of it. You ever seen somebody do that? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I wouldn't even fathom to even try to do that. It'd take me like an hour to figure out how to draw. And these people do it like in seconds. All right? That's what you're supposed to be able to do with a equation. All right? You're supposed to be able to take an equation and in a matter of a few seconds be able to ascertain what to do with it and how to do it. All right? That's your goal. That's not your goal in college algebra. It's not your goal in Algebra 2. It's your goal in every single mathematics course you take until you get your degree. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to be able, instead of drawing art-wise, anybody gives you an equation, you should be able to manipulate it and rearrange it until you get your answer. I can't even fathom changing a forward into a picture. I don't. Oh my gosh! And the whole roof would be blown off the, and then I'd be arrested. Picture me in handcuffs being put into a, I better erase this, period. Let's get rid of it. But, I could do this. There, I could do that. There. That's about, okay, now that's how some of you feel with these logarithms. You feel like, okay, you give me that, but you have to develop it. You have to develop being able to go back and forth with these problems. So therefore, you can design a bridge or design whatever you need to design. Don't even do that. 0 is equal to reverse what? Reverse FOIL or shortcut? Let's see. Nope, it's reverse FOIL. So X, 4 and 9. Dang old negative sign goes with the biggest number, and that means unlike signs. So our possible answers are 4. Negative 4 and positive what? And right quick, I mark out the negative 4. Why do I do that? Because I'm smart and gifted? No, because you can't take the log of a what? Negative number. Well, how do you know it's negative? Well, if you put negative 4 in that X right there, you're taking the log of a negative number. Okay? So your answer is 9. So now you can actually check this. Now, I'm fixing to give you another tool, logarithmic tool, and that is the change base formula. So write it down. Change base formula. Now the change base formula is used when you have a different base. The only thing your calculator can calculate is base 10 and base E. The change base formula says if you have log base A of B, and that base is not a 10 or an E, then you can change it to log base 10 or log base E of B over log base 10 or E of A. So let's check it. Let's take our handy dandy blue marker and let's put a 9 right here and a 9 right here. And that's going to give you log base 6 of 9, which is going to be log of 9 over the log of 6 plus 9 minus 5 is 4. So that's going to be log of 4 over the log of 6. Do we have a common denominator? Yes. So that's going to be log of 9 plus log of 4 over log of 6. So you pull up your handy dandy calculator. And we're checking is what we're doing. So log of 9, parentheses, log of 9 plus the log of 4 divided by, parentheses, the log of 6. Close parentheses, close parentheses. This 2. And you feel good about yourself. Because what's it supposed to be equal to? All right, let's try nerd. All right, write that one down. Well, what do we have? We have division, and we have log on both sides. So the best thing to do here is condense. You got to condense it down to something simple. You can't use the definition of a logarithm because, well, you could, but not with all these same bases. It actually comes out to be quite nice. So which rule can we use? We have the same bases, do we not? So what rule has a subtraction symbol in it? Quotient rule. I heard whoa. That's what I heard, but I think I heard 2 syllables. Log base 8 of 5x divided by what? Divided by 8 plus 1 is equal to log base 8 of x. Somebody not feeling good today. All right. So now we've got an old rule that is derived from this rule from exponents. If I have 3 to the x, and then I have 3 to the 4, if my bases are the same, what can I do with my exponents? Set them equal to what? Equal to each other. So if the bases are the same, what can I do? Set them equal to each other. That's right, class. Thank you for taking the reasoning over here and bringing it over here. I'm glad you did that. 5x and the interaction, thank you, over x plus 1 equals x. And just to make things easier for you, because some of y'all are going to sit there and stare at that like the orb of confusion. So I'm going to put x over 1, so y'all will say, oh, I've got to multiply through by the common denominator, which is x plus 1. So I'm going to multiply through by x plus 1 over 1. And what happens to my x plus 1s over here? They cancel and you're left with what? 5x. 7. And we don't have an x plus 1 right here, so we've got to multiply the top by what? X plus 1. Now you got an algebra problem. Finish it. If you can't, then quit. I get these little stickers like that says, I'm a failure, ... again. Boy, you get to wear them whenever you miss a problem, you get a sticker. So 5x is equal to x squared plus x. Now what? Well, we got to get all the x's on one side. 0 is equal to x squared. What is 1x minus 5x? 4x. What's in common? Factor out of x, you get x minus what? So your possible answers are 0 and what? Positive 4. We look up here, 0 times that's possible, because you can take the log of 0, and 4. Of course, you would have to plug it back in. Okay? Plug that back in and see which one will give you the correct answer, but I'm sure both of them will. I haven't done it, but...
Why wouldn't you put the quantity of x plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 2?
What?
Instead of putting x times the quantity of x minus 4, why wouldn't you put the quantity of x plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 4?
I'm confused. I don't know what you're saying.
So instead of doing that...
Right here? You talking about right here?
Yeah.
What do you want them to do?
I put x plus 2 parentheses times x minus 2.
You use shortcut. You can't use shortcut because 4x is not a perfect square. 4 is, but not 4x. Anybody got a sign back there hanging around his neck? Failure? Oh yeah, I didn't go over it. Is that what it is? Okay, I'm sorry. 0 and 4. That's your answer. Now, if you want to plug it in, that'll be 0 here. Log 8 of 0. Log 8 of 0 minus log 8 of 1. But basically, you got to plug these two back in to see if they work. Either one doesn't work, what do? You mark it out, and the other one is the answer. Okay? I'm not going to go through because I think y'all can go through and plug 4 back in and 0 back in. You got to use your change base formula, though. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over that. Next one. Okay, I'm getting messages now. While I read my parenting messages. You do this problem. Oh yeah, if I don't discourage you by that, I'm going to throw a what in? A radical. Y'all ready to quit? I think I would take that log of x minus 3 and I would do something with that radical. Raise it to the 1/2 power. Or you could square both sides. You know, that's something you could do also. If you want to square both, let's square both sides. That'd be easier. That'd add more confusion to it. So let's square both sides. So raise this to the 2nd power. Oh, there's shortcut number 2. Oops, can't do that, Hubert. So that's going to give you log of x minus 3, because the square takes off the radical, equals shortcut number 2, which would be log of x squared minus 6 log of x plus 9. So that's going to give you log of x minus 3. And there's nothing really you can do over here. So let's just bring everything over. I didn't even think about that. Let's bring everything over. So I'm going to bring this over here because I don't want to make this negative. So 0 is equal to log x quantity squared minus 6 log of x minus 1 log of x plus 9 minus plus what? Plus 3. And of course the log, all that is here and here. All right, finish it out. Treat it just like a quadratic. Don't sit there and just stare at it. I mean, it's a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Treat it just like you factor it out using the reverse FOIL, and then you get 2 possibilities is equal to 0. What's 6 log of x minus 1 log of x? You're right, you're right, you're right. I messed up. Minus 7. log of x. 9 plus 3 is, I think 3 and 4 is going to be used in here somewhere. 0 is equal to log and then 3 and 4 and then the biggest number has to be negative, and this means like signs. So log of x minus 3 is equal to 0, log of x minus 4 is equal to 0. And solve. So that'd be log of x is equal to plus 3. Log of x is equal to 3. What could we use there? Well, we got a base. What could we use there? Definition of logarithm, Hubert. That's right, class. Log base 10 of x is equal to what? 4? So 10 to the third is equal to x, right? And 10 to the fourth is equal to x. And then you plug them in. Now at least this one is log base 10, so it's easier to do with the calculator. Okay. All right. So of course this would come out to be 10 to the third is what? 10 times 1,000. So one possible answer is 1,000. And the other possibility is 10,000. Y'all check and tell me what 10 to the fourth is. Should be 4 zeros, Hubert. And that's going to be log of 1,000 minus 3 is equal to square root of that is equal to log of 1,000 minus 3 here. So then you plug and chug to see which one's which. See which is your answer. And I think I got that one from your homework. Don't know which number, but I'll see if I still got it pulled up. That's not it, is it? No. This one was a... There it is. Huh? Oh, it's not that one? That's the only one I could see. And that one let's see if they use the shortcut on that one. Yep, they ended up getting, it's going to be a pretty big number, like 1,000. Well, this one was 100, but it comes out with 100 or 1,000 or so on.
So you need to give the answer raised to the power, not actually.
Well, either one. I'll take either one.
Okay, so
If you get it wrong and the answer's, if the answer's 10 to the third power and you put 10 to the third power and they mark it wrong, because you put 10 to the third power, they wanted 1,000. I'll take either answer.
Because the first time I took the first test, I failed the crap out of it and missed like 10 questions that were all correct. They were in a different format.
Well, you need to.
Differently, so I went back and fixed it.
Oh, you went back and fixed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you could do that too.
It was more thinking.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't understand why they don't have both answers. But you know, that's the difference between a teacher and somebody that's putting these things together. Okay? I hadn't covered any of that. There's one. Let's look at that one. I'll blow it up for you. This will be our last one. But I want you to start working on this homework. And you better work on it good. This one says natural log of e to the x power minus 4 natural log of e is equal to natural log of e to the 6th power. Now, the first thing I would do is, because I'm not a natural log person, I'm going to change the natural log into log base what? E. And that will help you tremendously because it'll take out a lot of this. You're going to find that out in differential equations too. For those of you that's going to take differential equations, you do that a lot. Change natural log into log base E. So, we've got log base E of e to the x power minus 4 log base E of e to the first power, and I do that for a reason, equals log base E of e to the 6th power. Now, why did I do this? Because when you put log base E of e to the power, what does the rule say if those two e's are together? I showed it to y'all before, but y'all didn't remember it. You're just left with what? That power. So, but what about this guy? Well, you can put that out here, or you can multiply it by 1 or whatever. You're going to get the same thing. So, this cancels, and you're left with what? This cancels, and you're left with 1 times 4 is what? And this cancels. And I would probably just quit. X is equal to what? And we will check it because that's a natural log, and I'm very weary of natural logs. I don't like natural logs. Fantastic. All right, so you've got your homework to work on. Sit down. That's rude, you know that. I don't know why I have to keep telling y'all that. It's your parents' fault. Turn the handy dandy glue jigger off. I hope I stopped it. I don't know if I stopped it or not.